Look at this great room. Oh my goodness. Great rooms are in style, yes, but when you have a room this great and this grand, how do you define the space? We are just about to have this house staged, ready for the market, 12431 Torrey Pines. People will walk in here and say, oh my goodness, I don't have enough furniture for this room. It is a beautiful room with a high ceiling, gorgeous floors, handsome fireplace. So what the stager will be doing is, we do have this entertainment center that was left here by the owners. We can keep it for the new buyer, or we can take it away. So this does define where the TV will be. But at the same time, you want to have some of these gorgeous views in how you set up your couches, your chairs. You want to take in this beautiful view of the Lake of the Pines golf course. So they are going to come in, and I'm using Heather's Houses, and I shouldn't use the word use. I am working with Heather's Houses to define this particular great room. Now there's all different price points and how many rooms you get staged. I usually like to do the great room, and of course, this is where the dining room will be set up. Then there'll be some furniture here, which we call the breakfast nook. And one of the things that our stager has as just a great collection of beautiful pieces of furniture. There'll be some stools put here at the breakfast bar to emphasize the breakfast bar. There'll be little collections of suggestions in how you use the kitchen here, some fake plants. It'll be just a space that you're going to want to live in. Now, what other rooms should you get staged? And this is the C.J. Jenkins version of staging, let me tell you. Look at this entryway. It has a lot of space. Maybe there'll be a bench here. There'll be some piece of furniture and either a mirror or a beautiful piece of art. One of the things that Heather's Houses has is beautiful pieces of art. They're not the pieces we find at Ross. They are artists' work. And then, what other rooms should we stage? We are not able to stage these 2 bedrooms, but this is the room where the person who writes the check for this house is going to be sleeping. So I always think it's so important to stage the master. And once again, we have a huge master suite. I'm sure the bed will probably go here. We could figure that out. There'll be a beautiful piece of art here, maybe a chair. And then we've got this space right here to define. What do you do with this angle of this master? Do you bring in a desk? Do you bring in a reading chair? What are you going to do with this space? So you can see why it is so important to have these 2, the great room defined, the kitchen, the dining room, and also the master suite defined, and how you can use the space. Now remember, it's not the only way, it's a suggestion, but it does encourage the buyer to see themselves living in the space. Remember, we have so many people today who are used to watching HGTV, and every one of those homes that's been rehabbed, remodeled, shown by a realtor are completely staged. Staging is the way to sell a house. Your house is on the market less time, and it gives a neutral way for people to see themselves living in the home. So in just a little while, well, maybe 5 or 6 hours from now, after the moving truck has arrived with about 5 people from Heather's Houses, we will be able to come back and see what magic they have done. And I'll tell you, opening gifts at Christmas is fun, but coming into a staged home like this, all done, it's like Christmas morning for me. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hi there, guys. Guess what? It's Christmas Day. Like I said, it's so much fun to walk in the day later after a whole day of stagers being here, 2 professional movers, a big moving truck just packed with furniture, and lots of decorations and beautiful artwork. Come on in. I'm at 12431 Torrey Pines. We're going to look at what Heather's Houses has done with this empty home. As I mentioned before, this is a nice entryway, and I had predicted that they would have some piece of furniture here and probably a mirror, and that's what they ended up doing, and it makes the space, of course, look bigger. It also is welcoming. If you remember, this house is 2,800 square feet, and it has 2 very large rooms. This great room, as I said before, yesterday, is great. And look how they've defined the space. They worked with the piece of furniture that the owners have left. The reason why they left this furniture is because it looks very similar to the woodwork that's in the kitchen. Everything in this room they brought in, except for my purse. Look at this art. I would never have thought of putting this scene that continues in 4 different pictures together. Got it all lined up. And then when the stagers put these items on the walls, guess what? When they take the artwork down, they have their tools with them. They fill in the holes, they touch up the paint on the walls, so we don't have 4 holes that are going to be there for the next person who's moving into the house. The couch has been carried into this home. This huge rug has been carried into this home by professional movers. And then the 2 women who are working to put everything together, organize the space, have, plans all drawn out of what goes where. Now, I myself might not have thought about putting this rust in here with this navy blue. I'm a little bit too matchy of a person, and I like the contrast. I love the texture in the pillows. And these are not inexpensive items, not something you pick up at Ross or Walmart. Their lighting is very light, not too bright, it's very subtle. And then we have the dining room defined. This is a good sized space. With this runner here, it actually makes the table even feel longer than what it is. They're very attractive padded chairs. In fact, when they bring these chairs in, one of the things, they have it all wrapped up in plastic. Big sheets of saran wrap wrapped around all the furniture. So none of the corners get nicked and damaged in the move. They really protect the quality of their furniture when they bring the furniture in for you. This is an interesting treatment to have a rug like this in this space. I love it. And the color of the chairs just go perfectly with the wood trim. Even the plates fit perfectly. It's a faux leather touch. The fact that there are some items on this built-in shelf unit really helps you as a buyer see, oh, look, I can put some of my wine glasses here. I can put some of my mugs and maybe have a little coffee kiosk here. It brings your eye to the possibilities of how you would be using this space. There's a breakfast bar, And this bar, I had mentioned that most likely that the stagers would bring in some stools to have you realize, oh, we can sit in this space and have breakfast while someone's at the stove making it. Now the kitchen to me is probably the easiest room to stage because there's so many different combinations you can put in here. Sometimes they have big jars of M&Ms, or one time there were marshmallows that were multicolored. So you have a lot of options that you could put in the kitchen. You can see how they work very well with these beautiful cabinets. Even the color of this cutting board accents the cabinets in the kitchen. Okay, so we have now the breakfast nook, the dining room, the great room. We have the entryway. And now we're going to travel to the room, as I mentioned. This room is the room where the person who writes the check is going to be sleeping. Let's go to the primary suite. Oh, quickly, there's just a couple of pieces of art in the bathroom. Now this is older tile. It's a blue-gray tile, and they come in with some different color combinations and make it as contemporary as possible. Look at this room, it's so beautiful. We've got some gold in here, brown leather, a little bit of rose, the grays, the blacks, and it all works. And then they have these little collections of things, a picture, a lantern, and some books, a lamp with a lot of texture. This bed was not here, if you remember. So this bed has been brought in on that moving truck. And then this piece of art, look how big it is. Oh my goodness. I don't know, it's probably 7 to 8 feet long. And I like it. It moves me. I'm not a big abstract person, but it softens the room. It brings some texture in here. I just think this is a phenomenal set of staging. Now this is a small thing that they do in the closets. They bring in some paper bags. And even having these boxes here, this helps identify this is where you could put your shoes. It brings the eye in, it makes the space look bigger by staging. A lot of people think that if you're staging, it's going to make the space look smaller. Contraire. Nope, nope, nope. So here we have some gray tile, a great jacuzzi tub, and they have brought in some yellow and gold in this space. Not the blues and the blacks and the whites, but some bright yellow in here. White towels are used a lot in staging because they can fit anywhere. And just the fact that in the shower, this is a great shower, by the way. I really like it. It has a seat. But you may not see the seat. If you put 2 white towels there, your eye goes right to the seat, which emphasizes the seat that's in the shower. You even have a bar of soap right where there's a spot for you to put your shampoo in the shower. Again, some bright yellow and white against the gray tile. And they've played upon the gray tile by bringing in the gray bedding. And so it all works together. I really do think that this house will sell much faster by having it decorated. All right, we've got one more room here, which is the fourth bedroom or the family room. It has a full bath, which they have put a few pieces for art in, and some towels. And the owner had a couch and a chair that they were leaving, which I will need to get rid of when we sell the house, and also this blue rug. So these three pieces, the chair and ottoman, the couch, and the blue rug, were left here. And they brought in some black to go with the black tile. Baskets, parcheesi, some of the games, because this is a family room space possibly, so they wanted to bring in some of the games. A cool map of the world. Again, look at the colors in this map. We've got the tan and a bit of rust and the black. Look at the tile over here. We've got the black and the oak tan wood. These two items here complement each other. I would never have thought of that. That's a stager's eye. That's someone who's trained. And then there are a few things here in the bathroom to decorate. Very simple. It's a simple bathroom, and it's just been decorated, enhanced, showing how neutral it is. You can bring in blue, you can bring in yellow, you can bring in purple, rust, brown, black. I mean, this very neutral bathroom. Now, when we were here yesterday, I forgot to do this room. When we were here yesterday, I forgot to come down to this room and look at the before pictures for it. It was just a couch down here and the rug, and but the rest of this was all brought in later. So, what is my point of the video that we have today? I love doing a before and after staging shoot. It's so exciting. Many of us watch HGTV, and all of those homes on HGTV are staged. Whether it's an agent taking you into a house to look at it for sale, or a project that's been remodeled by one of those home remodelers and someone says, here's the keys to my house, please do some magic. And so people today are expecting a house to have furniture in it, and they enjoy it much more. And when you're on the MLS, if this was just a big room in here, it would be easy to forget this room. But if you see something in here, maybe it's the beautiful navy pillow with the flowers on it. Maybe it's the texture here of the board game. Or for me, it's this beautiful map of the world. And we want to make sure that this house stands out when there are other houses that are our competition in this size range of 2,800 square feet. So if you'd like any information about who I work with as a stager, please give me a call. I'm CJ Jenkins from Century 21 Cornerstone. Thank you so much for joining us at YouTube, Christine Jenkins, or Lake of the Pines Living Facebook. If you do have any, if you do want to reach out to me, you can get me at 530-906-4715. And thank you so much for seeing the beauty of staging. Bye-bye.